Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and I'm doing a pretty small job today, just this basement area, and I have a set of steps as well to do, so this won't take very long. I just give it a very thorough vacuuming with the hush tone over there. This is a Berber, Olefin Berber, and I actually didn't see any stains on it at all when I was vacuuming, so that's kind of nice. But anyway, let's give it a clean. So, of course, I'm using the Rubbermaid pad on this carpet. I did bring a fiber pad in. I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not, but I don't think I need to use it, so we'll just use the Rubbermaid Rayon polypropylene green stripe pad, and the carpet overall doesn't even have any real visible soiling. So it's just a freshening up, I guess. Anyway. And of course, this is the SETT method. You can see the logo on top of my machine, which stands for Soil Extraction Transfer Technology. I think I need to mention this more lately. My friend over there on Washington Pro has been mentioning it a lot more, and using SETT to identify the methodology that's being used, which is any machine that would be using pads to transfer the soil up and out of the carpet, whether it be a rotary or a OP machine. But that's really what the SETT acronym is meant to stand for: soil extraction, which is what we're doing with the pads, and transfer technology, which is what's happening as the pad is passed over the carpet, whether it be a rotary machine like this, which I prefer usually, or an OP machine. Either will work, and either will work fine as long as the operator using it is understanding what they're doing and using proper techniques and quality cleaning products. And yeah, that's. I don't think we need to be so adamant about what we're doing that we would say my way is the only way, because quite frankly, over the decades, there's carpet cleaners that have run very successful businesses using virtually all the systems out there. My first methodology that I used back in the 70s with my dad, he started in 74 using the Von Schroeder dry foam machines, and I do have one, both a upholstery cleaning machine and carpet machine. And there's many guys that have operated for years using these machines, and my dad basically raised our family, 7 kids, using the Von Schroeder system, and it can be done. There are other, I wouldn't recommend it for lots of reasons, but I'm sure that nobody out there is really all that interested in that machine or that system. It's just not a economically viable machine to use, in my experience, but it can be done, that's all I'm saying. And the proof is that many have. The other system, of course, which has also been around for a very long time. Because Von Schroeder was actually really the very first on-location carpet cleaning system that was developed, as opposed to the only other option at that time when they started off was just rotary shampooing with coconut oil shampoo, which was highly residual, which is actually where the bad reputation of the rotary machine kind of came from. It wasn't the machine or really the system, it was the products that were available for cleaning. So, but anyway, the host system, which is a dry powder method, which is actually not technically dry, it's actually a damp powder. If you've never used it, it's quite interesting to watch. You can find videos of it on YouTube, but basically it's a ground up corn husks with detergents, solvents in it, and you sprinkle it on the carpet and you work it into the carpet. with the host machine, which is a CRB dual brush machine, and you work it in, and usually within half an hour or so, then you vacuum it out again, and it works fine. I've used it for years. I actually started a company in 1986 using the host system, and for a while there we seemed to really be doing great guns and everything, but in the end the labor involved and the cost of the product was detrimental in the long run. So anyway, I mean, you can do it, but there are better options out there. Obviously, I think the rotary is a better choice. And of course, then again, there's the rotary. There's guys out there. I remember back when I was in Victoria, back in the 80s, there was a guy out there that apparently, the story was that he went out and he used a rotary machine with a brush, and he just shampooed carpets. He didn't have pads or anything, and he was around for years, and he was pretty cheap priced, but you know, his cost of operating was obviously next to nothing, and apparently he did quite a lot of work. And in Victoria there was a lot of smaller apartments and condos and everything with elderly people in them, and they were quite happy to have this guy come in and shampoo their carpets. Just, you know, basically scrubbed with a brush, and I guess he groomed with a rake, and I assume he pre-vacuumed, I don't know. But he was around for quite a long time, and that was apparently the way he was doing it. And then there was another guy, this is quite something, and he was actually, I would say he was probably the oldest guy still operating back then. We're talking like early 80s. But apparently this guy did it the real old school way. He would go into a house with a bucket and a brush and towels, and he'd get down his hands and knees and he would do carpet cleaning. That's how he would do it. And apparently the guy he raised his family doing that. He was booked up way in advance. Of course, he couldn't do a lot of work in a day, obviously, but apparently he did well. And again, I don't recommend doing that, but the thing is that these things are doable. Of course, there's lots of guys out there that start off with and remain cleaning with portable machines. The first steam cleaning machine that I really used to an extent was a 100 psi Ninja, and it worked fine. Not as fast or as effective as a truck mount, but it worked. You can do it. There's guys that have businesses, and that's all they do is, they run a Ninja or something like that, and maybe a 100 psi is not going to give you a lot of punch, whatever. But I remember when I actually switched over to 200 psi, that made a big difference as far as the cleaning, and also actually carpets would dry faster. I guess because it was it had to do with the size of the jet probably more than anything. But anyway, my point is that you can do it with that if you wish. And of course, there's pad machines, and way back then, by the way, there were basically only 3 low moisture carpet cleaning real viable businesses out there, and the most widely used one, I guess, would have been Chem-Dry, which they used the bonnet, the big loopy cotton bonnets, and they were all about using carbonated water, and that was their angle. And then they were the largest carpet cleaning franchise in the world, at least at that time. I don't know if they still are. I kind of doubt it. They kind of jumped off the low moisture bandwagon when they switched over to truck mounts, and then they tried to call themselves still Chem-Dry, but wouldn't admit they were actually steam cleaning. Actually, funny story, this is 10, 15 years ago, I called up the local Chem-Dry guy, and I was talking to him, and I asked him, do you steam clean? Because this is when they had switched over to the actual truck mounts, and he insisted no, he wasn't steam cleaning. I said, well, do you heat up the water? Yes. Do you does it spray the carpet? Yes. You suck it out, yeah, well, that's steam cleaning. And he'd say, no, 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 we use hot carbonating. We call it HCE, hot carbonating extraction. Oh, okay, so you put bubbles in your water and that makes it no longer water? But anyway. And of course, the other franchise that was out there way back when was Fabrizone, and they were another bonnet type system. And they their thing was they use a rotary which had an ozone generator mounted on the machine, and it blew ozone onto the carpet as it cleaned, and that was kind of their marketing angle. Obviously, it wouldn't actually do anything to improve the cleaning power. I used ozone back when I began, but I would use aqueous ozone and pump it into the water. Different characteristics. But anyway, that was Fabrizone. They were, I don't even know if they're still in operation. Maybe they're long gone, I don't know. And then the other one was Rotostatic, another using rotaries again. And Rotostatic's claim to fame was they would use a positive and a negative ionic charge cleaner. You'd put the pad into a bucket and squeeze out the excess, and that was one charged solution, and then they sprayed the carpet with something else. And anyway, those were the way they presented themselves and marketed, that they had this unique ionic charge cleaning. But, you know, those guys that ran businesses, I actually knew the guy that was the operator in my area. He's gone now for at least probably 15 years, but for a while there, he was pretty big stuff. Did a lot of commercial work, most of which I now have. And I think I don't know if he retired or I know exactly what happened, but anyway, they've been gone for many years. And you know, you can, there's guys out there that are, you know, cleaning with the Oric machines, and that's all they use all day long. You can do it. And of course, there's truck mounts. And if you really want to spend a lot of money, you can go and get yourself a truck mount. And just better turn this light off. And that's not my, I've had truck mounts. Well, I've run them anyway. Actually, I was in partners with a guy once who had a truck mount. And anyway, that's the story. But anyway, the point is that regardless of what method you're choosing to use, they all will work to you know, greater and lesser degrees, and they have advantages and disadvantages. But my preferred choice for almost all the carpet cleaning I do is right here, the soil extraction transfer technology. And primarily my choice is using the rotary because I just think it's the best overall option. Or you could use an OP if you want. I have that as well, but I like the rotary much better. But anyway, guess I finished cleaning this carpet. Let's have a look at the pad. I'm not expecting to see much on it, but sometimes it's more than you expect. Not too much. Okay, I gotta go to the steps, which are just around the corner here, and then I'll be done because I won't have to broom this. Okay, thanks for watching and have a good day.